Excuse me. Can I help you today?
I'd like to buy a car.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eugene Landy. Do you know who this man is? Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
Ah.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round.
We've all grew up in California. The brothers here, Dennis, Brian, and Carl.
So I listened to those harmonies. I would teach them to my brothers, and we'd all sing. Listen to me, I'm going on and on. What about you, Melinda? Why don't you have a boyfriend?
He broke my heart.
You shouldn't have done that.
It's sort of an untraditional thing to have two different actors playing the same lead in a film. I'm curious what your communication with John Cusack was before production started.
It was virtually nothing. I think Bill, our director, somehow trusted that if we both went after the spirit of our respective Brians, it would somehow work. And I think it does because Brian sort of went into a black hole almost, in the late 60s, early 70s, and came out a slightly different person. And I think it's that juxtaposition of the two, like a young guy in the studio full of so much life, and then somebody who's clearly been through something. It's those two things put together that I think really helped to tell Brian's story and how complicated he is.
No one said, you can't call Paul or anything. But, I think there's some reason, we were kept in separate bunkers. But that wasn't the case. But we just naturally understood the conceit of it, that it would be my take on it and his take on it. And hopefully, since it's all coming from the same well of music, that there would be a little bit of a harmony.
I met John on one of my last days of filming and one of his first days. And he was blasting Smile from his trailer, and I went and knocked on the door, and I was obsessed with Smile. And we both sort of knew that that was the gateway between our two characters, and so it was at that moment that I was like, okay, I feel the Smile thing, and John does. We both sort of knew that was, so I thought we would be all right.
I think, when I met the real Melinda, and, when you're, they're 30 years out, on the other side of it, and they're so happy, and their family is
But it's still fresh when they talk about it.
It is. No, it is. But I think I took that long view, right? Which is where I feel like she knew when she met Brian that she was in love with him, and that she wanted to save him, and she wanted to protect him and help him, and she was fierce and loyal and loving towards him, and they have a deep connection. The two of them still, she's they're so just adorable together. They've really created this life together that was worth fighting for.
We had Brian's current band play the Wrecking Crew, and so they played live in the studio. We were in the studio that Brian recorded Pet Sounds in, and they just played. I was able to stop and start them, throw stuff in that I had heard from all the vaults of, recording sessions and this and that, and the energy of it was amazing. It was so much fun. Our first week of filming was in that studio that he recorded Pet Sounds in. And just to hear that music every day, to try and build it up, create it, that week of filming in the studio is probably the most fun I've ever had acting.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
I do not want to be one more person who wants something from you, so I'm going to walk away.
Why can't I be with her, Gene?
For the same reason, man, that you cannot be with anybody.
God only knows what I'd be without.
I'm gonna beat this, and I'm gonna beat you!
You need to get back to your life. You and me, we're going to walk out of here right now, and everything will change.